In this module, I'm going to show you the macro controls down here. Now, these are basically buttons and dials that you can use for controlling multiple different parameters. So as soon as you load up a preset, then you can crank a dial to make some really cool changes to a sound. For example, I've got a bass line here, and let's say I wanted to have on this first dial a sort of filter, basically a breakdown kind of effect where we roll off the bottom end of the bass, so we're just left with the higher frequencies, maybe increasing both the cutoff and the resonance, and maybe cranking up the drive a bit as well as we lose that bass, so the filter gets a bit louder, more raucous, and maybe also control some levels on the mixer and even some effects as well. So it's easy to assign these, just like other modulators. All you have to do is drag the handle here to the parameters you want to modulate, after which, once again, we get a little triangle. So if I want it to be the whole cutoff, and this is a high pass filter here, so as it increases there, it's going to cut out more and more bass. So yeah, drag that all the way to the top. And you can see in the matrix here, we've got that modulation listed. And I'm also going to drag it to the resonance and have that going maybe halfway up. And then drag it to the drive and have that going a fair way up as well. You can always tweak these later on. Now there's two oscillators to this sound. Let's just have a listen to it. So yeah, if you increase the dial right up there to the top of its range, then you can just tweak those different modulation amounts here using the triangles or in the modulation matrix to get the desired effect. You can also modulate other parameters, like I said, as well. So we could have maybe one of the oscillators decreasing. So we just drag the handle to the fader here, and as we don't have the triangle appearing on that one, you can just adjust it here. So maybe decrease it to the bottom. And let's also use it to, actually, I'm not going to change the reverb effect itself. I'm just going to change the send level of oscillator 1 here. So let's drag it to this send amount. And then once again in the matrix here, I'm going to crank that right up. Let's see how that sounds. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun with these macros. And then of course you can name them with an appropriate word, so it's easier to remember exactly what each one is doing. And we've also got other performance parameters here, like the pitch and mod wheel of your keyboard, and also velocity of your keyboard, aftertouch if your keyboard has that, and so on. So all of these are different performance controls, if you like, which can all help with performing with the instrument, or also just in the studio for getting more expressive bass lines or melodies. So yeah, that's the performance controls on Avenger.